It's time to heat up the stove as we welcome in John Jastremski and Sal Licata. So according to Andy, the Mets are looking to hire a manager within a week. A report from the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel also states that Counsell would stay with the Brewers if they matched the highest offer. So Sal, how do you see this playing out over the next 7 or so days?
I still think, like I feel it in my gut, Chelsea, that the Mets are going to hire Counsell. Now, if they don't, it's going to be a big problem. There are only a couple of names, JJ, we were just talking about it. I'd be okay, I guess, with Mark Kotsay over all the other names, but really this has come down to Counsell or bust. You cannot fire Buck Showalter, one of the great managers in the last 30 years. You cannot fire him or replace him with a first-time unknown guy. So Counsell has to be the hire. I still think they find a way to get it done.
I agree when you consider the ties with David Stearns and all of the smoke that has been out there for the last couple of weeks. The idea that Craig Counsell wants to be a part of a winner. The idea that Craig Counsell is basically taking the tours. I mean, he's getting wined and dined by every baseball team that's looking for a manager. And the Mets, to me, should be in the period and the state of desperation because, to your point, they took a manager who was manager of the year just 2 years ago. And I get it, last year was a disaster, and a lot of things went sour for Buck Showalter. How do you sell to your fan base that you hired a better manager than Buck Showalter if it's not Craig Counsell? I like Mark Kotsay. I think Mark Kotsay, if he went to the right operation, would do a good job. But you're going to sell me that he's a better manager than Buck? I can't buy it. It's got to be Counsell. And if it's not, shame on the Mets.
Yeah, it's no secret. They've made it no secret that Counsell's their #1 guy. So they got to get it done, and I guess we'll know sooner rather than later. As for Pete Alonso's timeline, he's a year away from hitting free agency. And on the latest episode of the Show podcast with John Heyman and Joel Sherman, his new agent, Scott Boras, who's known for getting his clients big paydays, said, "We welcome all offers, even if you don't get a deal done. It helps the parties understand one another." So Boras isn't ruling out Alonso signing an extension in the offseason. But, JJ, what are your thoughts on what he had to say?
I am ruling out Pete Alonso signing an extension. And I understand he wants to be a New York Met. And I think when it's all said and done, the Mets want him to be a part of the organization. But, Sal, you're this close to free agency. To me, when you're a player of his stature, of his magnitude, when you get to that point where you're a free agent, you might as well take your chances in free agency. I don't think Pete Alonso's signing a contract. I do think long-term will be a Met.
And I'm not surprised at the comments at all. We've known Boris's MO for however long we've been covering Scott Boras, so it's been forever that he gets his clients the most money. I will even take it as far as to say, while I think Pete does love New York and does love being a Met, he clearly wants the most money, whether that is from the Mets, from the Dodgers, from the Cubs. I don't think he cares because he wants the most money. You don't hire Scott Boras if you don't want every last penny. Ultimately, I have a hard time thinking he'll be in another uniform, but him and Boras are going to look for the most money out there.
I mean, I think he deserves the most money, hitting over 37 home runs in each season except for the COVID year. I mean,
problem is he probably thinks he's worth $300 million. The Mets probably think he's worth closer to $200 million.
Yeah.